What up, PP Ryan? Hi, Cooper. Welcome to today's vlog. We got a good one.
Alright guys, there's your cringy intro.
Yeah, I hope you guys loved it. It was pretty good.
It's pretty bad.
Sent some chills up my spine.
You should leave comments about how it's the worst intro we've ever done.
Yeah.
Because I think it is.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Very cringy.
It's pretty bad.
What are you doing?
Fixing the Halo controller.
Ooh, beautiful. Are you happier today?
What do you mean?
You didn't seem happy yesterday.
I just have a resting bee face.
No.
And voice.
When I was editing the video, I was like, he doesn't really seem very happy today.
Thought I was fine yesterday.
Well, you seem happier today.
Okay, that's good.
It is good.
We're getting caught up on, like, everything.
You just replacing the sticks?
Yeah, but I cleaned, like, took it all apart, cleaned all the little crevices, because 360 controllers get absolutely disgusting with
They do.
dirt.
They have too many little cracks too, because like on the bottom you have this little like
I haven't got to that part
circular thing that goes around, and most controllers just have like the one line, but you have two of them here, so there's like more spots for hand cheese to build up.
yet. Yeah, I do that sometimes.
It'd be like that, you know. But looks like we are getting caught up. They used to have a bunch of controllers.
And then those ones just need to be gone through.
Need to be tested and cleaned, or what?
They're all tested and sticks replacement for most of them. Some of them just need to be re-cleaned.
So they just need to be cleaned, and then are they're not in the system, right?
Yeah, those are all for the cabinets there.
Cool. And then we got a collection earlier. I don't think we've shown it in the video yet.
Which is actually from yesterday when we got all the packages and the trades.
Yeah, this stuff was dropped off. We just didn't get around to finishing it till today.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Like yesterday, I think I titled it something like the most games we've ever gotten. Like we put in hundreds of games when we say late, but I think that's the most we've gotten received like in one day.
Yeah, both from packages and trade-ins. It was crazy. If you missed yesterday's video, go and check it out.
Take a broomstick and start. You ready to see my package?
Yeah.
Oh wait, sorry, it's Cooper's package. But I'll unwrap it for you guys.
It's our package.
Yay! Alright. There's a note in here. Should I read it?
If it's like an actual note. If it's just like a screenshot of the email, then probably not.
He wanted to show his support. Because he thinks we're awesome. Oh, yeah. Thanks.
From Stanley.
What up, Stanley? Alright. Here's Stanley's games. We got Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Pretty awesome. Ooh. One of my favorite games that I was actually playing today. Zombies Ate My Neighbor. And then Turtles 4.
It's actually Zombies Ate My Neighbors. There's multiple neighbors.
Whatever. Yeah, you gotta save them all. Got Contra 3, the Alien Wars. Castlevania 4.
Heck yeah, some good stuff.
Yeah, it is. And I'm gonna show the PS4. Call of Duty World War II. Mass Effect Andromeda.
I don't think that those were originally part of the deal.
Yay! Alright. Star Fuchs.
Watch your language.
Top Gear. Or Top Gear.
Oh, wait, look at that. That Star Fox in there.
Man, that's gonna need some cleanup. Which one do I show?
Are these the last two?
Yes.
Okay, get ready, guys. Last two.
Ready? You ready? Super Metroid and Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
Awesome.
I was not harmonizing well at all. Yeah.
Kyle.
What?
She's waiting.
I know. This one didn't work.
Oh no.
So I have to do another one.
She said this is her first time coming in, and she's always seen our store and was like, oh, I need to stop in there. But she just never has.
Oh.
And then she's getting a pizza down at NYC, and she's waiting for it, so she just came in. And she's like, man, I need to bring my brother in here.
Yeah, so I needed to switch this one out because this one's way nicer, but the one inside didn't work.
So sad.
I have to test it again.
Yay!
Hopefully it'll work this time. What's going on, guys? Let's look at another trade-in. Start over here with these loose DS and Game Boy games here. Got some Kingdom Hearts, always good series. Donkey Kong Land, Dragon Ball Z, and Hamtaro, 2 great games. Got some Xbox games here. I'll do one stack at a time. This is mostly from one trade-in, but I think there's a couple in here. Need for Speed Underground, one of the best racing games. And Splinter Cell, before it turned bad. Burnout 3, one of my favorite games on the Xbox. I don't play racing games much, but the game is super fun. There's Burnout 2 as well. The exclusive Burger King Big Bumpin'. I used to work at Burger King, and I was working there when those games came out. I'm a little old, but you know, that's okay. Got Ninja Turtles here. Doom 3, that game scared me when I was in high school. It's not like the Doom that came out the last 2 games, where it's just like run and gun and you're just blowing up demons. This one was like full of jump scares and you only had a flashlight to see. And you couldn't see anything outside the beam of the flashlight, and so you just turn a corner and there'd just be a demon there waiting to kill you. So definitely a very scary game. Got Grand Theft Auto, Halo 2. I'm gonna take a minute to talk about Half-Life 2 here. Valve created the Source engine, which was the basis for so many of their games from Half-Life 2 going forward, like Counter-Strike, Team Fortress 2, and it just made games look amazing. And this engine that they made was just so efficient and just made things look way better than they should have for its time. Half-Life 2 is an amazing game. It basically revolutionized gaming. And there's a weapon in there. It's called the 0-point energy manipulator, or some people call it the gravity gun. But that thing is the funnest thing to use in video games. It was basically the precursor to Portal, because it looks kind of like the Portal gun, but it doesn't shoot portals, but it shoots like giant objects, and it's super fun to use. We got this cool all-white PS3 console, complete in the box. Got some PS3 and PS4 games here. Hunted the Demon's Forge, I've heard, is a great co-op game if you're looking for that kind of thing. Got Time Crisis 4 here. If you haven't played Time Crisis in the arcade, you are missing out. This one is compatible with the GunCon, so if you have that, it makes it feel more like the arcade game, but you don't get your foot pedal and all that, but it's still fun. And then these two are more expensive than I thought they would be. I used to see these in like the bargain bin, but I guess they jumped up in price. But that's it for now.
My stack pick for today is Runbow. This is the Pocket Deluxe Edition for 3DS. It's actually only for the new 3DS, one of the few games for 3DS that's only for the new one. But it's a really, really fun game. There is a ton of different modes. There's like King of the Hill, and then there's, like racing ones where you try to get from point A to point B, but it's like Smash where you can hurt the other opponents or kill the other opponents. They fall off the stage, they're out. Ton of content here. There's also a single player game in here as well. I think there's actually some extra deals. I don't know about the Pocket Edition, but I know on Switch, at least there is some paid DLC as well for more content. But even the base game has a ton of content in it, and it's a great party game. It is much more, I don't know the term for it, but for new players, it's much more like friendly and inviting for them to play versus Smash Brothers. Like Smash Brothers, like whenever I try to play growing up, like I can never figure it out. It's just too hectic and chaotic for me. But this is very easy to just jump right into it. Anybody, someone who's not into gaming very much can just jump right in. It's super simple. The controls are very simple, but there's a lot of depth within the gameplay itself. So I love it. There's the back here, it says like there's 180 levels in the classic adventure mode. And there's also the other modes as well, Arena, King of the Hill, etc. Also, it's interesting to note is the 3DS version comes with 4 home menu themes, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a download code within here, so if a used copy wouldn't come with that, but since this is a new copy, it does. Yeah, I would definitely recommend checking it out. It's on Switch, 3DS, and Wii U.
Quick Pokemon clip here of some new cards we got. This is the coolest one, but it's like a custom fan-made card. It's not official or anything, but it looks pretty cool. There's a ton of them on eBay. Some of them look like they're selling for up to like 30 or 40 bucks, but there's like, you know, tons of sold listings for around $5 to $10. But still, it's pretty cool. And these are in order of price. We have Magnezone, Centiskorch. Some of these I've never even heard of, like Silvilli. I'm not going to list them all off. Nothing in here is like super crazy. A lot of cheaper cards, but still some cool stuff. The kid that traded these in, 2 brothers and their mom, used the credit to get an $18 card, and then they grabbed like some Skylanders and a dollar toy. But yeah, overall some cool stuff. Like I said, nothing too crazy, but there's a couple towards the back here. There's one $5 card and one $10 card, and that's it.
Alright, so we were able to fit all of the PSP games down here. We had to resort to the worst method, which is stacking them up. It won't be like this forever. They're going to sell pretty consistently, so it works for now. There's some more room for the special editions. We got a couple special editions in, and they're not in the system yet, but everything else is. Ryan just finished entering in all the loose ones. And then we got the cheaper ones over here, below the PS1 games. And it is very full. There's no room for any more. We've already sold a couple today. And it looks really good. And it's going to be awesome to have this selection in store for all the customers.
Well, the kid that traded in those cards earlier ended up coming back with some more. So I'm going to go through these a little quicker because there's more of them here. But these are also in order of price. And there's some older ones mixed in too, which is kind of cool. I'm pretty sure from that first batch he brought in, there weren't any older cards. That one looks really cool. I like that. But yeah, some first editions in here. And there was a little bit of bulk that I got from him as well. Just cheaper cards, so. And some of these are priced down, you know, based on condition. These came from a kid, so they're not like in perfect shape or anything, but there's still some cool stuff in here. Like this one, this should be like I think like a $15 card, but it's kind of rough. It's not the best. That one as well. And then 2 $10 cards. Level X. We get questions all the time about our resurfacing machines and like the whole process and everything. We've talked about it many times and showed it many times in the past, but you know, it's always nice to give a little refresher because not everybody watches all the videos. But we use machines built by ELM. I think their technical or their official name is ELM USA, but this is the RTI Eco Auto Master. We also have an Eco Auto Smart. The Auto Smart can do 1 disc at a time, and it's auto because it has the pads that rotate automatically. So you put a disc in, hit whatever number you need, it'll run through them. Once it opens, it's completely done. This is essentially the same thing, except with this one, you can do 50 at a time. It was currently going, that's why it's beeping right now, but you put 50 down here. Once it finishes, they're all up here, and they're done. So it's on disc number 20 out of 50. But this is what it looks like on the inside. So these are all the different pads. You're gonna just have to excuse the beeping. You're not supposed to really be opening it while it's running, but I have paused it, so it's fine. So all these different pads are different levels of resurfacing. That purple one is the Blu-ray pad. There's a disc in there right now, as you can see, and then there's solution and compound that comes out of here, and water, and then there's a drain there, which goes into the bottom part. So there's the water pitcher, there's the water tub down here, there's the compound, all these little tubes and everything carries water and solution up to the disc, and it polishes them, and it is super awesome. Right now, this whole stack is in there. So these are games we got in yesterday, and once they're resurfaced, they are ready to be put out onto the shelves. So yeah, this machine is extremely expensive. Pre-owned, we got this machine for like $8,000. I think they're like 20 grand brand new, but it is amazing. It is a necessity. We had the other machine only for quite some time, but just doing one disc at a time and having someone have to be there to literally, take the disc out and put the next one in and start it every time is extremely slow and very time consuming. So being able to put a stack of 50 in here and just hit go, wait an hour to come back, and then they're all done, that is amazing. So these are going to be done next. Those are the other 2 stacks we have ready to go. And then whatever else comes in from later today.
We haven't done this in a while, but these are a few things that I'm surprised haven't sold. The first one is this Donkey Kong Playhouse. It's really cool. It's, I don't know much about it, but it's cool.
Well, we have one. They are really cool because it's Japanese only.
Yeah.
And we have one in our game room that it was sealed, and I opened it to display it. It's pretty cool though. Comes with that little Donkey Kong figure. But it is expensive because that one's also sealed.
I'm surprised hasn't sold are these. Well, I think there's only one. It's an arcade fight stick for the Wii. Pretty cool though. We sold the other one.
Oh, so we have one left.
A straggler. And one more thing is this Lethal Enforcers for the Super Famicom. Comes in the box and it's pretty cool.
Let's take a look at our trades from today, guys. We have so much stuff to look at, and there's some really awesome stuff in here. So we're going to start over here. We have the blue and black 2DS XL, and then some DS and 3DS games here with the cases. We have more loose ones you'll see here in a little bit. And we got some really awesome PS1 games here. A couple Final Fantasies, Wild Arms 2, Legend of Legaia, and Air Guys, I think is how you pronounce it. This manual has some water damage though, which is unfortunate. And then we have the Arc the Lad collection. So I wanted to talk about this for 2 reasons. The first one is that we actually got a copy of this traded in last week, and it was a little bit better condition than my personal copy, so I upgraded it. This was my personal copy. The only thing and the only reason I upgraded is because mine here was missing 2 of the joystick cap covers. So it has the other 2, and the little standy things inside are still sealed. They were sealed in both copies, which is kind of cool, but I was just reading about this one, and the first 3 Arc the Lad games came out on the PlayStation only in Japan, and in like 97 there was some sort of petition that people started to get them released here, and then Working Designs finally released this compilation here, which has the first 4 Arc the Lad games in 2002. And I don't know, but to me that seems extremely late for a PS1 game, and maybe it's not, I don't know, but I don't know, that's pretty cool. Then we have a bunch of loose games here. We're going to start with the DS ones here, just so I can get a nice little zoom here and show you guys all the prices. I know that you guys do like seeing the prices, so trying to do what we can to show them and everything, but like a lot of these DS games here, these are the same kind of games we get every day. They're not very exciting. And then we have some Game Boy Advance. There are a couple good titles in here. The Yu-Gi-Oh one there, Breath of Fire, Kingdom Hearts and Zelda, and then some original Game Boy and Game Boy Color. Then we have one PS4 game. We have a couple Genesis games. This one has a pretty big rip on it, unfortunately. We have the Xbox controller here. We have PlayStation 3. That is the only glass case game, which is anything 15 or higher. These ones are all cheaper. And then we have some PS2 games here, and a couple more here, and a Wii U game. And I don't follow sports at all. I don't know much about any of the players or anything like that, but I will say I've been seeing a lot of videos on Facebook and TikTok about Shaq, and he just seems like the chillest, like most down-to-earth, calm person ever. And I don't know, maybe he's different in person, but in the videos I've seen, he just seems so cool. Like, he's a cool dude. We have some 360 games here. Those are the 2 glass case ones. And we have some other Xbox games here and more 360. These are just the cheaper titles. And then same thing with Wii. A couple, smaller ones there. And then we have some glass case ones here, which you can see I actually put the tags on there we usually do that anyway before we put them out, but I did them so you guys could see it in the video. And then we have the cheaper ones down below that. And then we have Simon's Quest and Mario 3 with the manual. And then we're getting into Super Nintendo, and there's a lot. This one is Donkey Kong Country. This is the mystery game that we tested in yesterday's video. And we have a ton of good games here. And it's really cool to get these right before the expo, because Super Nintendo is one of those consoles that, like, most collectors are looking for. Even a lot of, like, the newer collectors that are not into, like, NES stuff, they still go after Super Nintendo because it just holds up so well. So it's gonna be really cool to have this many, like, good games at the expo, and I'm excited because this is not everything. This was everything from today, but we have all of the games we got from Venezuela and the package that Ryan opened earlier. Those have not been entered yet, so we have all of this plus those, and it's going to be awesome. There are some duplicates, like Zombies Ate My Neighbors was in the package. There's a few other ones, so yeah, it's just going to be awesome to have duplicates of some of these, like, really sought-after titles. And then the last couple rows here. Turtles in Time there. And then we have Moy Mallard and Cold Shadow and Earthbound. So I'm going to talk about Earthbound, but really quick, I'm just going to show you these because this is the only thing remaining. Just some amiibo there. So Earthbound. It seems like it was only a couple months ago that we were selling loose cartridges for $500, and those are all gone. So I don't know, the price on Earthbound always goes up and down. It's really, really weird. This one's not in the best condition. It is put in the system as poor. Let me see if I can get a close-up. There's that little nick on the label there. There's a little one there, and then the bottom of the label right there is kind of messed up. So we did put it in as poor, but if it was like minty, we probably would have priced it around $400. So, you know, did mark it down a little bit because of that, but still super, super cool to get another Earthbound. That's kind of like one of the staples that you want to have at an expo. It'd be really nice to have like a little Samson or a Flintstones as well, but I'm not going to complain with what we have because there's some really awesome stuff, not only in the trade-ins here, but in our inventory right now. We're going to have a lot of fire at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. Speaking of that, the show is less than a week away at this point, so for anyone who has not decided yet if they're going to go, you definitely should. It's the coolest thing on the planet. I don't know what I would recommend more in terms of, like, you know, something you can go out and do for fun. I don't think there's anything cooler than PRGE. It is the largest retro video game convention on the planet, and we are so lucky that it happens to be 5 minutes from our store. We are the closest store to the Portland airport, so for anyone who is, you know, coming in, we're going to be open on Thursday night. We're going to start taking everything down, and then Friday morning we go to set up. So we're going to be closed all weekend, but we'll be open at the expo. Are you ready?
Yes.
Kyle's never been. Adam's never been. Ariel's never been. And you've been to conventions, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Adam's never been to it. Well, Adam's gone to PAX, I think, as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if Ariel's ever been to a convention or not, but it's crazy for the first one to be vending, like, at a mega booth. Because when Abby and I first started going, we went to one, then we vended the next year. So we got the experience first of just being customers. Yeah. But it's going to be so crazy.
So the question of the day today is, what is one of your biggest fears? Mine would be spiders. I can't even handle, like, even little ones. I don't want them on me.
Don't go into our kitchen.
All right, so my fear is claustrophobia. As a child, I was locked in a bin, and that wasn't fun. And I was also put in a hole, and, like, the hole was covered up with boards, and that was also scary. So now I have a claustrophobic problem.
Thanks to your older brother.
Yep, thanks to my big bro. Thanks, bro.
So one of my fears is also claustrophobia because of my older brother. He's 8 years older than me. One time he wrapped me up in a blanket and then sat on me and tickled me.
Okay.
So I could not move, and I was just being tortured, basically. But that's not one I have to worry about too often. The other one is, like, I have a fear of heights. Like growing up, I was always forced to go on the roof of the house to put up Christmas lights and take them down, and I hated every second of it.
One of my biggest fears is like a twofer. One is like open water, like being out in the ocean.
Yeah.
That is so scary to me because I'm afraid of sharks. Specifically great white sharks. Like getting chased and like bitten by a great white freaks me out.
You said there was it was
Open water and sharks.
Oh, okay.
My biggest fear is being forgotten. It's also known as like oblivion, when you do everything in your life but no one remembers you. It's pretty scary.
So I can't think of anything like specifically that like scary that I'm scared of. But I always am afraid that Trader Joe's is gonna stop making a product, because like it feels like every month they like discontinue a product. So I don't like that, because they have lots of good stuff.